On this Cyber Monday, millions of shoppers are buying products that will have to be delivered. But how those items are delivered could change as companies introduce drone delivery. Tonight, Plano City Council members are examining the hubs drone operate out of to see if regulations are necessary. Fox 4's Lori Brown live in Plano. Lori.
Clarice, the drone industry told council members last month that they are the first city in Texas to be considering an ordinance to regulate drone hubs. Aware of the precedents that Plano could set, city council members decided to study the issue more, so they tabled their vote until tonight's meeting. As drone delivery takes off in more and more places in Texas, the city of Plano is the first to consider throwing a red flag. Last month, Councilman Rick Horn summed up the major concerns brought to the city's Planning and Zoning Commission.
And there were concerns about noise, and there were concerns about privacy.
The FAA regulates drone flight paths and altitude, but city regulations determine where they are based for takeoff and landing. Christina Day, Director of Planning, explained that the way Plano ordinances are written, they do not allow for those types of hubs.
We were approached by an operator about coming to Plano, and our zoning ordinance states that if a use is, if there's an unlisted use, that it's not disallowed.
Planning and Zoning voted 6-2 in June to create an ordinance that would allow drone hubs, but it would also require them to be shielded by 8-foot masonry walls. But that requirement did not sit well with the industry. One company, Drone Up, is already testing operations at a Walmart on Custer Road in Plano.
It's not common necessarily for municipalities to pass ordinances like that. I believe Plano might be the first in Texas to do so. That does not necessarily, there's nothing wrong with being number one, but given the fact that you would be number one, we think it's important to work together with you on this.
The companies urged council members to visit their operations to better understand the impact of the wall requirement.
We're excited about the prospect of drone delivery being in DFW, as you're one of the largest adopters of the technology around the country and frankly around the world.
Councilman Horn wanted to emphasize that drones have to fly along streets.
They don't fly as a crow flies from crumble cookie over across backyards to drop the cookie off in your front porch.
Horn dismissed concerns about noise.
I would bring a theory to you that the Amazon truck is a lot noisier than the drone. Just because of the open and shut doors, parking, going, and clogging traffic.
Council members set up a public meeting last Tuesday to visit a drone hub, but the meeting was canceled for lack of a quorum. It's not clear yet if that will have an impact on tonight's vote. The meeting gets underway at 7 o'clock. Clarice.
Lori Brown live in Plano. Lori, thank you.